Lagos State government says it remains committed to building resilient infrastructure across the city to tackle the recurring problem of flooding. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made this known while reviewing the state's flood response efforts. Wahab revealed that in the past 2 years, over 50 kilometers of secondary drains have been cleared and 38 primary channels dredged or maintained across the state. The commissioner referenced the recent 14-hour downpour on Monday, 4th of August, that heavily affected parts of Ikorodu, stating that immediate remedial actions were taken. According to him, the ministry had acted on early warnings from NIMET, launching awareness campaigns as far back as April and briefing Lagosians at least 5 times in the last 3 months. He stressed that climate change is a real and growing concern, noting that even countries with no history of severe flooding are now experiencing similar challenges. The Association of Lagos State Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries, ALAHOPS, has called on all Nigerians, regardless of status, religion, or ethnicity, to unite for an ethical rebirth of the nation. President of the association, Nuruddin Ojora Adejian, made the call in light of recent development in the country. He emphasized the urgent need to uphold strong moral values and ethical standards in both public and private life, urging Nigerians to serve one another selflessly and without personal gain. Ojora Adejian commended the Lagos State government for establishing the Lagos State Food Infrastructure Company, a strategic move aimed at boosting food security and agricultural productivity in the state. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has distributed relief materials to windstorm victims in Ukanafon, or Ukanam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom, under the federal government's Special Intervention Program. NEMA Head of Operations in Akwa Ibom State, Mandu Aisweni, sympathized with the victims for their loss and urged them to accept the offer from the federal government with gratitude. She stated that the gesture aimed to provide immediate succor to the victims as they rebuild their lives after the devastating windstorm. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, has blamed the continued detention of minors in adult prisons on systemic failures at state level, particularly the collapse of juvenile remand homes across the country. Speaking at the third public hearing of the Independent Investigative Panel on alleged abuse and misconduct by the NCOS, Head of Welfare Timothy Dabith explained that the lack of functional juvenile centers near the point of arrests often forces correctional officers to admit minors into adult facilities. Dabith called on state governments to take responsibility for youth offenders in line with their constitutional duties. He also urged the panel to mount pressure on state authorities to revive remand homes and prevent further incarceration of underage individuals in adult correctional centers. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, says it has upgraded its Diaspora National Identity Number NIN enrollment platform for effective service delivery. The commission, in a statement by its head of corporate communications, Kayode Adegoke, said the upgrade will provide seamless and robust services to Nigerians abroad. Adegoke, who described the facility as more secure, said NIMC Diaspora Front-End Partners, FEPs, have been onboarded on the upgraded system with intensive training to equip the FEPs with the prerequisite knowledge on the application and effective management of the new system. And now to foreign news. 1 person has died and nearly 30 others injured at a powerful magnitude 6.1 earthquake struck Turkey's northwestern province of Balıkesir, causing widespread damage. Over a dozen buildings collapsed and an elderly man was confirmed dead after being pulled from the rubble. Nearly 30 others sustained injuries. The quake has revived painful memories of the twin earthquakes in February 2023, which claimed more than 53,000 lives in the country. Rescue efforts and damage assessments are ongoing, with emergency teams urging residents to remain alert for possible aftershocks. Now sports. Crystal Palace will not be playing in the Europa League this season, following a ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sports that upheld the club's demotion. The decision confirms that Palace, despite winning the FA Cup and Community Shield, will now compete in the UEFA Conference League instead. UEFA had originally dropped the club to the lower tier competition on July 11, citing a conflict of interest. As of March 1, American businessman John Textor was found to have control or influence over both Crystal Palace and French club Lyon, something not permitted under UEFA rules. With Palace's appeal now rejected, Nottingham Forest have officially been promoted to take their spot in the Europa League. And that's all for the news at 4. Carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has restated its commitment to building a resilient infrastructure across the city to tackle recurring problems of flooding. The Nigerian Correctional Service (NCOS) has blamed the continued detention of minors in adult prisons on systemic failures at the state level, particularly the collapse of juvenile remand homes across the country. We also told you that one person has died and nearly 30 others injured after a powerful magnitude 6.1 earthquake struck Turkey's northwestern province of Balıkesir, causing widespread damage. And in sports, Crystal Palace will not be playing in the Europa League this season, following a ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sports that upheld the club's demotion. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idoolaya. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.